Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today we are going to be talking about the European transfer windows, so the roster changes as might be happening or did happen only for Europe because Europe has basically done some massive overhaul on some pretty big rosters like Team Heretics, G2, Ninjas Pajamas, Ascend, Alliance. So a lot of big teams are a part of this ordeal. So we'll first start off with G2. And G2 they're actually already announced their changes. So they kept Mixwell and Pith. However, ardiis, paTiTek, and Zeke have been removed. Nuki or Nukai, I don't know, still Avova and Coldamenta have joined, not Alex as well as as what some of them thought Alex would have been joining, but it wasn't the case. So if we have a look here, so this is what the roster currently looks like. I don't know if Alex is actually going to join to make it a 6-man or something, I don't know. But this is what the roster currently looks like. Mixwell and Pith are staying from the original roster, while Nuki or Nukai, Avova, and Cordamenta have joined. Now, I think this will definitely help G2 in my opinion. I think Cordamenta, I think like Mixwell, well having two IGLs, well Mixwell's a captain, but having an IGL might be really good for the maybe for G2, but I don't know. Well, I may maybe cause some conflict. I don't really know though. We just really need to see about that. As I've been as what I've been seeing from like a lot of people, Pith is crazy good. So I can't wait to see how he gels with this new roster. Nuki and Avova, they both came from Team Heretics. I actually can't wait to see how well they play. So I'm gonna be trying to be watching Europe a lot more closer, which basically means if I had to watch some highlights, some European highlights, then I would. But yeah, obviously living across in the other side of the world is pretty hard. And obviously having Cordamenta as well, I think that's also pretty good for G2, but also may have some conflict, I'm just gonna say. But we just have to wait and see if G2 can actually somehow gel it in with Nozino as the coach. So this is a pretty decent roster, I'll be honest. This is a pretty good roster in my opinion, and I can't wait how the roster goes between the other European teams, especially Fnatic, because I can't wait to see how well they go. So the next one on the list, I think it is Team Heretics. Obviously, Heretics was a little bit like the best European team until Fun Plus Phoenix was there. So, oh crap. There we go. So Heretics, they have obviously so we already knew that Rabuno has announced his departure, and Pura could potentially move on to a new project, which means new roster. So Lobo will be the only player. However, negotiations with paTiTek and ardiis are in progress to rebuild a project. Names have not been announced and we'll keep you informed once things are clear. So Team Heretics, we already know that one player will be in, which will be Monster. Now, I actually needed to have a look who the hell Monster was because I never heard of him before. But he was originally part of Enterprise Esports and LDN UTD, which is I think like an August team, and is mainly in the seed tier region. So whatever Monster did to impress Team Heretics, definitely impressed them very much, and you know it may actually help Team Heretics. And like the other ones, I think it was paTiTek and ardiis. So if we actually go to the rumors, we know that Valorant is possibly going to be the other change that's going to be happening. We know that Pora has now joined Blaze Esports, which is a Turkish team. So it's going to be Valorant and most likely going to be ardiis and paTiTek as well. And if that is it, that's going to be a very interesting roster to look at because there are two superstars, ardiis and paTiTek. We got Laura, who's the team captain, and we got two pretty unknown players on Monster and Aloranti. So it's gonna be very interesting on how Heretics wants to like how they want to do this. I kind of trust John Tar, who is the coach of this. So hopefully they can maybe somehow integrate them into the roster and they actually perform surprisingly out of my expectations. So that is Team Heretics. The next one now, it is Ascend. And Ascend has also done some changes. We'll be doing some changes. So, they've already lost Cold Mentor, who'll be going to G2. Um, Starexo and Bone Cold have been looking for different teams, and CNED might be going to a different roster. Currently for Ascend, so Bone Cold, CNET, and Starexo will be most likely leaving, but Zeke was announced just today. Well, actually no, like 2 days ago. I'm recording this on the 4th of June, so obviously this may be released tomorrow. But Zeke has joined Ascend. It was not mentioned there, but it was mentioned on this, and I think if I can try to find it, but CNET is also rumored to maybe go to Team Heretics. So if I actually can try to find, I actually don't know where Zeke is, but he's somewhere. But actually, I can't really find him. If I maybe search him up. So yeah, here. So G2 maybe joined in Ascend, which was true. He was original, yeah. So he joined G2, and then he left G2 to go to Ascend, and later was confirmed by that. So Zeke has now joined Ascend, and if it is true that Bone Cold, CNET, and Starexo will be leaving, and that means that Kylus will be the only one left, I guess, in the first roster. Then now, if we actually go over here as well, so CNET maybe joining Team Heretics, Bone Cold, Starexo, I don't really know. Bone Cold is rumored to go to Ninjas and Pajamas. We just don't know if that's going to be the case though. So Ascend, they have some pretty big shoes to fill, and they're possibly the biggest losers out of this. Next up, it is Alliance, and Alliance have been awfully very quiet throughout the European scene. So this is what the roster currently looks like. So they got Feroth, Locker, Hype, and Kadarva, XMS as the trial. So it says here that Kadarva is no longer a part of the team, but it was actually confirmed that he won't be leaving Alliance. XMS is also in question, especially with his trial contract, and might come to an end. However, they are thinking of getting Zeke and paTiTek. We already know that Zeke has joined Ascend, so that won't really happen. However, for paTiTek, I think that is still a rumor. If I remember, if I can even try to find it. But paTiTek, I don't know, I saw him when I was having a look. Here. So there was a rumor about maybe paTiTek might be going to Alliance. It is likely, obviously, as you can tell, but we just don't know if that's going to be the case. So if it does, then I don't know who's going to be leaving. Maybe XMS may leave, but it really depends because obviously his contract is almost up, and it's actually already been up because, well, I guess March, April, May. So May 10th would have been the other, or if they're talking about June 10th, they're most likely going to be. I think they're most likely talking about June 10th. So if that's the case, then XMax may be out and paTiTek may be in. For the next one, it is NIP, and NIP is also going to be doing some changes. So since X610's joined, NIP has vastly improved. Korea and JD as reported to be dropped from the lineup. To replace them is Kadarva, who we don't know who's not leaving. Who we already knew who's not leaving. Bone Cold and Ekis, or Ekis, has been reported to join Ninjas. So this is what the roster currently looks like. Rhyme, Korea, Chihuahua, JD, and X610s. Obviously with X610s, they kind of want to keep him. I think Chihuahua and Rhyme, they've been playing pretty well. I don't know about Korea and JD though. Well, I don't really know actually. I'm just guessing. But So if we're talking about the changes about NIP, it is still rumored that is if they want to go ahead with it. So there's Bone Cold and there's Ekis. If that's the case, I think it may benefit them. I think Bone Cold is a great player, so I think Ninja's Pajamas will be benefited by it, in my opinion. It will definitely help them, and they may be an S tier team in the future, hopefully. Next up is OG. OG has oh my god, so there's a lot of stuff up in it about OG. OG obviously joined Valorant, I guess a little bit recently. I guess I guess the most recent out of all the teams. But yeah. So AKM was benched by personal reasons, obviously. Element and only by um had frequent absence. However, Element has currently been playing with HSDIR, which I forgot to actually talk about, with Vicious and Aussie, including Fanatics, Mo40, and SAC, as announced by upcoming. The squad has modified, however, does a project member are open to any offer. Unkor and Tavik are testing many players to complete the roster, so they will be staying. DPS is still involved with the trials. The likes of Fizzy, Alive, Unfake, Shalaby, Matty, and Shed, and many others. Rumors also suggest Isa, currently bench of the contract of the OG CS team, has been tested, and information is not been able to confirm. So if we're talking about OG, so they still have so Tavik and Unkor are still in. If we're talking about OG themselves, we actually know that Isa won't be transitioning to OG, so to Valorant, and if they do keep DPS, which maybe looks highly likely, then Fizzy and Shed will be joining. I don't know a lot about Fizzy. Obviously, he joins formerly from For the Win Esports, which is one of the worst teams in Valorant. Obviously, they have won a lot of these tournaments, but those are mainly C tiers. If we talk about qualifiers and B tiers and everything, they've been most likely last in all of them. So something may have happened. Fizzy may be one of the best players in that roster, and OG really wants them. So there it is. As for the others, like Alive, Unfake, Shalaby, Matty, I don't really know. I don't know what they are going to do, but I don't know what I don't know what teams they're in. So um, yeah, I guess bad luck for them. But we just have to obviously wait to see if changes do happen. Next up, it is Team Vitality. It doesn't seem they're going to be playing any changes other than Fragon, who is no longer going to be the coach. So that's actually true. Fragon did part ways. However, PM has joined as the new coach. Along with that, I think this was so this was I can't remember when this was made, but this was made like a last time. So this was made in the 5th and the 6th. So I think it's probably May the 6th. I think it was made. Uh, I can't remember. It's European, so I don't really know. But yeah, it was like Jesmond and Lowiki has joined, including with Vax, Senator, and Brams. I feel like Vitality is a little bit of an underestimated team. They're a bit weird, and they haven't really accomplished a lot of things, other than maybe getting like 3rd place there, getting 3rd to 4th in the Europe Stage 2 Challengers 2 after being Fanatics. So I guess they have done some stuff, but maybe in Masters 3 and Challengers they may surprise me. So that's Vitality. Now this is the one that I am very interested in. Super Team, which is going to be in Turkey. Pora and CNET are obviously looking for new projects. Could be home in Turkey. About a super team in Turkey. That's are starting to spread. Early information announced that Russ from BBL in this new team, players and footballers would also be involved, but no names are surfaced yet. On paper, seeing some of the best Turkish players grouped together would certainly allow them to fight against the best teams in Europe. I guess I did talk about footballers here. There's footballers for you. Magu, Moji, Suzuki, I think, Sturban, and Quaxus. I probably butchered all those names. If I did, I apologize. So those are the teams, or well, the players, well, all of them who may be involved with this project. So if that is the case, I think, maybe digital athletics is maybe it, or maybe even Blaze Esports. I don't actually know, to be honest. Like I don't know which one. It's just a Turkish super team. But those are the players who may be part of it, including with CNET and Porora. I think those two are the best players who are in Europe, not in the Turkish region. So they're so obviously in the Turkish region, but they're competing in the European scene. It's kind of weird. So Europe, CIS, and Turkey are all different, but they're kind of like the same group, like the Europe, but they're like. So there's Europe, which is like the main group, and there's CIS and Turkey, which is the subgroup, I guess. So I guess Pora and CNET, they're both part of the European group, and all the rest are part of the Turkish group, which is weird. But I don't really know what team. I've maybe Blaze Esports, maybe Digital Athletics. I don't know. It may be another one, but we just have to wait and see. And the final one in this is Giants Gaming. The least kept secret one. It is the part of Pipson and Molsey, who could take the seat. And it was all actually true. Giants, I don't really know how well they've been going with Molsey in. But I think, as what I can tell, actually they actually haven't been competed any time. Well, they have actually. I guess they did win. When did he join? In the first time they had Molsey, they did win the LVP Rising Series to Spanish qualifier. So I guess not really like a big of a surprise, because I think all the rest are just unknown teams. So I'm not really that surprised about that. But yeah, but I think Pipson. Pipson has turned now to a coach. So they weren't really entirely right with that, but I guess he's still departed from it. So yeah, at least yeah. So Pipson, he's now the coach for Giants Gaming. So I guess that's really it. I guess other news I talk about. So like maybe the other news mainly in NA. TSM are looking to do some changes, especially with Brax and Bang. Brax will be benched, while Bang will be joining the roster. Bang was formerly from Team Serenity and OTW Esports in Phoenix One. Days will be likely leaving T1, which is gonna be a big shock. Navira will be joining Team Liquid. I think that's kind of really it. But yeah, that's really about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye. I've been scheming up a plan, hey. I've been saving all I can, hey. You could call me David Ramsey. The way I handle these bands, hey. We ain't messing with the old model. You wear a new kid, we full throttle. Just know that the come up is not a flaw. My amigos, they focus, know what to do. After I get it, I reinvest. After I get it, I reinvest. After I get it, I reinvest. Stack and put it back in it. After I get it, I reinvest. After I get it, I reinvest.